But what are some things that advice that you would give pastors for that next Sunday? How can they overcome that or, you know, go at it
Yeah.
with a healthy attitude?
Yeah. And we want to recognize like churches are all over this spectrum. Like some churches don't have a huge attendance on Easter. It's the same attendance or maybe a little bit more. Some have monstrous attendance on Easter. One of the things I try to encourage pastors with is try not to get too tied up in that Easter Sunday number. Like it absolutely is fun when there's a big crowd and it's, you know, parking lot's full, and there's no doubt about that, no doubt at all. But I also remind myself if you brought in flying monkeys on a Sunday, you would have a huge crowd. If you gave away, $500 gift cards to everybody, you'd have a huge crowd. And that, I'm not against huge crowds, but sometimes we get so excited about, wow, we had so many hundreds or thousands, and that's a good thing. But when we live and die by that high number, then we live and die by that low number. And there is something to be said for, hey, when it's a great, whether it's Easter or a regular weekend, a lot of people come to say, hey, that's great. That's fantastic. I don't get my value from how many people sit in a chair and listen to me speak on a weekend. That's the really that's the central thing. Where do you get your value? And for some, to be honest with you, pastors, if after Easter, either you're walking on clouds because of the number, or you're in the you know valley because of the number, step back and go, wait, where am I getting my value? You may be getting it from the numbers, and then the next week, a fewer number of people come. I get it. Here's what I try to do is I try to remind myself the people that are supposed to be there are there. The people that Jesus has helped bring into that crowd, that is who is there. And there's one person there, maybe there's two people there that God wants me as a pastor to speak to, and they're there. And so, yeah, there's not the 200 that we had last week, or the 2,000, or the 20,000, or whatever number it was. But the people that are here need to hear the gospel, need to hear it presented through how God has wired me up. And I think one of the biggest things, Chris, is just loving the ones, like I'm saying, loving the ones you're with, loving the people that are there, loving the people that are part of your church. Um, did you ever experience way back in the olden days when our dad, there'd be a bad crowd for a Sunday night? We had Sunday morning, Sunday night, Wednesday night. There'd be a bad crowd on a Sunday night, and he'd get real upset. And sometimes he would kind of yell at the people that were there because he
They
was
were
upset
sitting
at
in
the
front of
people
them.
that weren't there.
Yeah.
Did you ever
Oh
experience that
yeah.
with dad?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Multiple. Yeah.
Yeah. And I get it. I mean, I get it, but at the same time, don't be upset with the people that are there because the people that aren't, and don't be upset with the people that aren't. Like they're not bad people. Like in Colorado, the week after Easter, it's one of the last great weekends to ski. Like, are they bad people if they ski on that weekend? Perhaps, but perhaps not. What do you think?
No, that's good. All of that. A couple things I would say. When I was a campus pastor, we were separated from the main campus. So I really felt some of that burden on Easter more than probably just staff members do because, we wanted big numbers and all of that. And we would on Easter. But then the first thing I would do is I would get home on Sunday, flip open Facebook at the time or Twitter and see people, other pastors. We had 100,000 on Sunday for Easter. I mean, that's exaggerating, but in some pastors that were in my ballpark, they had much more than we did. And it would just deflate me. It would be like, they had so many. So my suggestion would be don't get on social media for a couple
Nope.
days.
Nope.
Let it rest, get excited, celebrate with your staff, but don't compare yourself.